speaker is an exceptional spoken word artist, a social entrepreneur who has performed on both international and local platforms for 12 years. Please welcome to the stage, Puno Selesho.
I am Puno. Puno the poet. I invite you to understand my words and me. I've been told that I should have been born bitter and angry. In some spaces, I am too woman, too black. The words I utter, too woman, too black. But I say no. My words are birthed from the soil in my own chest. People keep digging graves with every phrase, but I'm planting flowers instead. I am not angry. I am brave. I am not abrasive. I am determined. I am not too woman. I am woman enough. I am not too black. I am a dark chocolate delight. And I will work these words and toil the soil until the joy in my bones grows here. This tongue is sharp, and I will shape my own exceptional reality using only the finest materials like hope and humanity. So what will your words be? Choose wisely, and let's use words that grow well here in South Africa. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, young ladies and gentlemen. It is such an honor and a privilege for me to be standing here in front of you. Like was mentioned, my name is Puno Selesho, and I'm a spoken word artist. I've been writing and performing poetry for the past 12 years. I have made it my career, and you definitely can do it too. I'm here to speak to those who don't feel like they fit into specific molds. Maybe you feel more creative. Maybe you're good with your hands. Maybe you love music or dance or painting or writing. Maybe sometimes you sit in the classroom and you feel a bit small because you're like, everybody else gets it, but why don't I? I'm here to tell you that I studied law and I finished law, but I decided to do a bit of an off-ramp and not continue on that highway, and it was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. I was never one to fit into the mold. I was always a round peg in a square hole or a square peg in a round hole. As you can see, my mom was always like, why do you wear socks with your sneakers? It doesn't make sense. I was always different. I was always creative. So what does a poet do? Do we just write pretty stories? Do we just put down pretty words? What do we actually do? I like to describe it the same way that you would look at a tree or a flower, for instance. Have you heard of the word photosynthesis? Yes. So that's what we do as creative people. We absorb all of the chaos. We absorb all of the noise. We absorb all of the negativity. We absorb it all just like a tree would absorb all of the carbon dioxide. And then we process it, we work through it, we make something out of it, we seek to understand it, we divide it up and we lay out all the pieces, and then we make something beautiful out of it. And then what comes out of a tree afterwards? Oxygen. We give life. As creatives, we are here to give life to others, to bring beauty to others, to help people understand themselves, their cultures, their histories, their backgrounds, their emotions, their thoughts. That is the role of creativity. Try picture a world without music, without songs, without images, without words. A life like that doesn't even exist. So if you are a creative person, never let anybody tell you, go get a real job, when this is one of the most important roles of humanity across the globe. Art is something that connects us all. So what does a day in the life of a poet look like? Practically, the first half of the year is the writing part. That's when I'm tucked away in what I call my hobbit hole, down in Mtunzini, in KZN, in the forest, amongst the trees, where there's an ocean, because I need silence. That's where I'm processing. That's where I'm writing, practicing the art of writing. If you want to be a creative, and it's something I'll mention later, it's not just about being talented. It's not just about lights, camera, action, and waiting for inspiration to hit you. It's just like a soccer player. You have to practice every day. You have to wake up and write. Even if you don't feel like it, you have to do it. Hone your craft the same way people wake up for a 9 to 5. You have to be disciplined in what you love and what you do. The second half of the year, which is this half of the year, this is where I get to travel. This is where I get to share my art and my heart with people like you. I've stood in front of presidents. I've stood in front of students. I've stood in front of people in Germany, and I've presented myself and said, this is what we are about as Africans. You've written our story long for centuries, but as an artist, as a poet, as a creative, I'm here to correct that narrative with my words. And you can do it too. I never saw somebody do this before me. I have been shaping my own career and journey as I've been going along, and you can do it too. So I'm going to give you 3 tips before I do my last poem. I made 3 decisions. That is what has gotten me to this point. Those 3 decisions have gotten me through the rough times, the uncertainty, the doubts that people said at me when they were unsure of what I was doing, like, why don't you just become an attorney? It's easier. And those 3 decisions were simply this. Number 1, I will always love what I do and do what I love. People say that's a luxury, and I say no. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. If I was designed and born and made to do something specific, I will pursue it for the rest of my life, no matter how hard it is. I made that decision, and that decision has held me through. Do what you love and love what you do. Number 2, make sure it's sustainable. You can't just eat creativity. Make sure you do the work. Again, hone your craft. Be strategic. Combine your business skills. Combine your life skills. If you don't have those skills, partner with other people. Don't just be an artist who's airy-fairy. There are ways to be strategic about it. And if you don't know how, I'm here. Chat to me. I'll tell you. And the last decision that I made was that my art will never just be for me. My art will always be to serve people. I'm not here to be a celebrity. I don't want to be a celebrity. I want to create impact. If that means I become well-known, that's okay. I'm a faith-based person, so I know I'm giving praise to another name all the time, but also I'm here to elevate other people. You lift as you rise. So my last piece is called Daughter, because it is Women's Month, of course, of course. My dear daughter, Black girl, you are beautiful. Your curls coiled just enough to hold and house the rich oils and fragrances of fruit that exude from you. But those unequal ends above your head are soft enough for a crown of jewels to lay perfectly. For your kingdom lies in the heart of darkness, a bizarre and in paid and heavy with forests filled with opulent fruit. This frightening beauty, weary, climb through your forests and over your hills just to touch your hem and heel. Your body moves and curves like a rushing river. Of healing golden dusted waters, Paul the Pilgrim. They all crave a brown, sugary sweetness, a honeycomb, toffee kind of cocoa, a blackberried coffee bean, a black-eyed pea, my dear. Don't you see these things? They were all inspired by you. You are the birthplace of color. You are not the other. You are the only slice of majesty that looks, tastes, and resonates the way you do. So let your skin be loud as you enter every room. I love you, Black girl. I love who you are, where you come from, and I'm beyond excited about where you are going. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Thank you so much.